Tapped in exclusive. We are the internet.
Yeah, I know what the
bitch.
fuck going
Tapped In
on.
Podcast. We're joined today by Diablo.
What's up, guys?
And we
Thanks
got
for having me.
Juju here. So we got to start from the top. You left Ecuador at like 5, right?
Yeah.
And you moved out to Palm Beach.
Yeah, West Palm Beach.
And that was like a
Got a double,
huge...
little difference.
Yeah. West Palm Beach.
West Palm
okay.
Beach is where the
Actually, let's
flavor's
talk
at.
about the differences. West Palm Beach and Palm Beach.
Well, I think Palm Beach. So Palm Beach is like this really like rich area that like they built on around West Palm, and like Donald Trump grew up there. He has like Mar-a-Lago.
Wow, yeah,
you know,
Mar-a-Lago,
like,
yeah.
I know Jeffrey Epstein was from
You know,
over
Jeffrey, great. You know, all these great people live
R.I.P.
there. Yeah, man, it's crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, I always got a weird vibe from that place. But you know, I really love going to the beach, and the houses are beautiful. But
Right.
you know, I'm definitely sure that even Epstein probably, there's probably more than one.
Oh, yeah, for sure, right.
Probably one of
For
those
sure.
people.
there. Yeah, for sure.
So it's a very rich. It's a lot of Florida's a lot of like poor rich gentrification that they're doing, and it was interesting.
I feel like a lot of people try to retire to Florida, right?
I feel like everybody that goes, that makes sense. I feel like that's why there's so many old people. They all went there to retire.
Yeah, it's like the East Coast dream. Like if you grow up in fucking Jersey or New York, you're like, I'm gonna retire and go to
like
Florida.
Florida,
Yeah. Which is like, but it must be interesting, like being young as shit and being in a place where people are, going to retire and shit.
I think that's why a lot of kids in Florida got really fucked up when they were young. They're like, this
Wow.
is so fucking boring. There's nothing to do here. All these people are old. Let's just get drunk under the pier all day
And just get fucked up.
with no repercussions.
Yeah, it's a dream.
That sounds fire, actually.
Yeah, it does sound
Shout out
fire.
to childhood, though. Those are like the best days of my life.
Shout out to childhood.
Childhood,
It's very
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, man, growing up.
So you're in Florida at the age of 5, obviously, and I believe you're from Ecuador. So did you grow up like bilingual?
Yeah, I speak both English and Spanish, and Spanish was my first language, and I learned it, while I was out here in Florida and growing up.
Did you ever so if you were 5, that's when you started learning English?
Yeah.
And did you ever like struggle with saying words and shit in school and get clowned on? Like I used to
I
get
don't
clowned
think
on.
so, but they did put me in ESOL for some reason.
Did they? Yeah.
I don't know why. I
ESL?
thought I spoke English very well.
Yeah, no,
I think they just needed to feel like the class.
Yeah, no, I
Like
get that.
you're like, I feel like there's a chart and it was like, white, brown, like right there. Yeah, ESOL.
Yeah, put them in there. Yeah.
No,
it's like-
honestly, I feel like that was I don't know if I'm using this wrong. You two, y'all probably gonna correct me, but isn't it like classism where they like put you in there? You're probably from another country, and they're just like, we have to put them in there. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it could be.
yeah.
It could be. Maybe they get some kind of like grant or funding if they have X amount of kids that they're teaching
they do.
English to.
I'm sure.
Shit
The
like
system
that.
is fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, it could have something to do with it. So you're in Florida. You're growing up. At what point, like, does a relative bring you to music? Like, at what point do you end up making music?
So yeah, my brother was growing up there at the time, and he was a musician when I was like 10. He was already playing guitar, drums, and so on, and recording himself. And that probably piqued my interest later on when I was like, 13, 14. His influence, like I got into music as well, and then recording it and then producing it,
And what was he playing?
He was playing a lot of drums and guitars at the time and writing songs.
So would you say like he was more like alt rock or like what kind
Yeah,
of?
no, yeah, for sure. Even all the CDs he left me, like when he got in trouble with the law, so he got deported back to Ecuador, unfortunately, when he was super young.
Wow.
And he was also had mental issues, so when they were trying to find where he was, like my parents, and try to get him out, he wouldn't talk to any of the cops. So like we couldn't get any info where he was, and it
Holy
was too late by the time like the immigration came and like took him.
Yeah.
And so I think the influence of like even me writing songs now and doing a lot more than just producing is like influence came from him too.
Right.
Shout out, big bro.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, big bro.
Is he in Ecuador still?
He's in Ecuador, just living his regular life.
But he's
over there now.
cool and
Yeah,
like
he's
you.
chilling.
Okay, cool.
As much as people in like
Ecuador
a
can.
third world country and like a place like Ecuador can. It's really beautiful. It's just they really need to change, whether it be governments or less corrupt people in office.
Right. That's correct. So you were like, you said 10 or 11 at that time?
Yeah.
So then you end up going to, I believe, like an art school, right?
Yeah, so I auditioned after going to a lot of bad schools. In my charter school, I auditioned. My guidance counselor got me to audition to go to this art school, A.W. Dreyfus School of the Arts in West Palm Beach, and right next, and then on the borderline of Palm Beach, connected to
Before
on
the bridge?
beach. Yes, yeah, around there.
So it was a cool area
It
though.
was a cool area. It was downtown, and right. So downtown was the school was right in downtown, so they would let us out to go eat sometimes, and it was cool.
Wow.
It was really fun. I auditioned for to be a digital media major, and I ended up getting in with like almost perfect score.
Wow. So there's like some kind of like test or to get in.
Yeah, I think the day I audition is like for photography and digital media. We all have like one subject to photograph, and then one story or a subject, and we all write our own story. Like we're all timed and stuff, so you gotta do it as fast as you can. Yeah.
When you say all, that means you're like competing against people.
Yeah, it was like I think like 100 people like at
Like
every
per
day.
exam or
Yeah, it was like
something?
1 week of audition, and then every day is like a bunch of people could come and audition for like
So-
a week.
So, question: how did you prep for this? Like, did you have to study your ass off, or like, how did you know what was coming? Did you have a cheat sheet, or like, what's good? Give me the info.
He's just talented.
So for me, it was like very like I did not practice at all. I didn't know how to practice because the
Right.
reason I was even auditioning here is because I was like, man, I want to not go to another charter high school, and I was like, if this is really an art school, I'm just like I'm creative, and I did as best as I could, and I really tried for when I auditioned. I never prepped or anything, and I ended up doing good. So that's why I think it was really based on like how creative and basic skills you have as well.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I was mentioning that earlier that you're like just from talking to you and within conversation, you're very intelligent. Like you know what I mean, and you seem well. What's the word I'm looking for? Damn.
Articulate.
Yeah, good word.
Yeah.
Like, but
You guys
so,
are gassing me up.
no, for real. Like, not even
You
trying
gotta
to.
take
you guys
the
make me look
compliments,
bad
bro.
in front of my rap friends.
No, but it's good
You're
to.
telling people I'm smart, bro.
No,
He's
it's
intelligent.
It's
He's-
good. It's good to be deep
ahead
like
of the
that,
curve.
man. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, pause. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
No,
Good
I
thing.
mean, I think it's funny because we also talked about how it has some unique alumni like Eric Andre.
Yes, Eric Andre was one of the alumni that went there. He actually graduated. I ended up dropping out 10th grade because I wanted to
Okay.
pursue my music career, And so yeah, it was super funny that he went there. I'm a big fan of Eric Andre. I went to one of the shows he did at the Improv, I think, in West Palm Beach, a big comedy place there. I used to
Yeah.
go with my fake ID. I was like 16.
You just get in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
fuck
just
it.
like, and they would call me. They'd be like, Tuesdays, we were having like these free tickets, 2 drink minimum. I'm like, free ticket.
Yo.
I understand back then that like 2 drink minimum meant that you have to buy alcohol.
2
there.
drinks, yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, these aren't free. Like after I went there the first
You
time,
have
I
to
spent
pay,
like
yeah,
$100
yeah.
on 2 Coronas.
You
Oh,
have to tip the fucking people, yeah.
You don't know what else to order because you're 16. Like,
yeah.
Two
You
beers.
just know beer. You're like, give me a
Any
Corona.
beer.
Just got a bucket of beers.
Yeah. You're like, yeah.
That's
Give me.
fucking great. Did
Yeah,
you
that's
see? Did you see anyone else there besides Eric Andre?
I
in terms
definitely
of stand-up?
saw a handful of comedians. Like one, have you ever saw Workaholics?
Yeah.
So it was Tez from Workaholics.
Tez, yeah,
The guy
yeah.
that's like with the glasses and it's in the office. And
Yes,
he's
what's his
a
fucking
stand-up
name?
comic. I really forgot, but I got to see him there.
Oh, Griffin. Eric Griffin, right?
Okay, yeah,
Or
no
something like
idea.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that show a lot.
Shout out, yeah.
I'm very into growing up, even just being a weird child. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I thought I was weird, but like I always stayed up late. Always like watch TV really
what I
late
did
because
too,
all
yeah.
the TV during the day sucked. It was
Oh,
like
it's the worst.
in the morning it's cartoons for babies, and then like during the day it was kind of cool. Toonami got on, that was sick. I was always into like anime and like Naruto and Dragon Ball, and then at night Adult Swim. That's when I
Yeah.
really got into like
The
animation
best.
and cartoons,
Right,
yeah.
because I was just really into just like that medium of art. Watching like Eric Andre or a lot of just dark humored
Yeah.
TV shows, Aqua Team Hunger Force. Like
That's
I
my
was always
favorite
really
show.
into that
I love
stuff.
Aqua
Really?
Teen
That's
Hunger
sick.
Force.
Is that the French fry thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've seen like all of them, like the
Frylock.
so the
yeah.
original one, like the space ones. Like they do a little like
All the
seasons.
different
The
ones.
last one, the last episode.
Yeah,
Was
forever.
that shit that funny?
Oh yeah.
It's like weirdly funny. Like I don't know how to explain it.
It's 2 dudes from Jersey, and like my family's from Jersey, like my Italian family's from Jersey, and so I like fucking loved it when I first started watching it. But it's like it's just like such a unique brand of humor, But if you watch it, you get it. It takes like a couple episodes, but it's fucking hilarious.
It's definitely a certain style of like comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
And
for,
animation.
It's not for the either people with not a lot of attention span or just like people that are like, what is this? Like, I'm losing brain cells watching this.
Yeah,
really
That's
weird.
the point, though.
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's the goof
dumb
off.
funny.
Yeah. The animation in that show is also really
Great,
unique.
great, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
so interesting the way they
You
set
ever
it up.
seen the I'm really into this new like cartoon that they have on Netflix. I think it's midnight not midnight gospel.
Midnight Gospel. Yeah. Duncan Trussell, another
Yes.
comedian, made that. Yeah.
So no, I'm really into that show. Shout
It's
out
really
that
good.
show. Shout out Netflix.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I was fucking
I
crying.
saw the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't. Well, that's the thing.
I am a Netflix binger when I get the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Netflix, especially during quarantine, it's fucking great, you
Yes.
know? But yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes and I was. The first episode, if you guys haven't watched that shit, is hilarious.
It's like watching Joe Rogan while also having fun.
Yeah.
And no MMA talk. Like,
No.
completely, like-
Joey Diaz is a voice in that. He's
Right.
like 2 or 3 people in that show.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. His voice is super funny. I saw what he looked like, and it did not match. I was like, I thought this was like a whole like a kid almost.
Yeah.
And it turned out that he's like a voice actor. He was talking about how the animators were the same animators that did Adventure Time.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, that was
Oh,
my
Adventure
favorite
Time was fire.
favorite
Now that's some shit that
TV
I
show
can fuck
growing
with.
up. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's probably why I like that show so much.
Yeah.
Just the visual aesthetics and how they probably see. I assume like he does the podcast and then they fill in the animation afterwards. It's super sick. You guys gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally fuck with it. Shout out Duncan Trussell because it's a great show. But back to you. So you got into this high school. You drop out sophomore year. You're producing at the time. At what point do you collaborate and like put out one of your biggest releases? Like
He said he was also DJing too.
Yeah. and
During high
and
school,
DJing.
we were just like it was when I started like really taking the music stuff seriously, and I saw that you can make a lot of money in it, like touring. I saw people touring the world and making a career out of it, and I was smart enough to be like, all right, like I need to get in-field like experience. Like I can't get into like a really expensive school because I grew up kind of poor.
Right.
And I couldn't get grants at any school, so I already knew. I was just like, all right, I just have to figure this out myself. And I ended up dropping out of high school, which my mom was not happy about, especially since like Spanish parents like, oh, we're coming here to we're sacrificing our whole life
For you,
for you
Go to school.
to come to this country. And I'm like, and education,
know.
I'm like,
Trust
I'm
me,
gonna
I get
drop
it.
out.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that.
She was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Not
Shout out,
excited
Mom.
about that, In hindsight, now she's super excited about how it played out.
Yeah, she's like,
She's
good
like,
idea.
great
She's
job.
like, that was such a good idea.
Yeah,
I knew you'd make it.
yeah.
You're like, you
no.
didn't believe in me.
Shout out,
You
Mom.
can't blame them. It's
I know.
I didn't even I couldn't even explain to her like what I wanted to do. And
No.
one time I think where it really struck her is when I brought her out to Ultra in Miami for my set.
Wow.
And she was
Wow,
like, oh,
that's fire.
This is like, and
Did
she
she
started
freak?
crying. Yeah, like
Oh
I
my
brought her
God.
on stage. Introduced her. It was one of the best times. One of the best shows
That's
I
so
had.
sick.
Yeah, and then she really understood, and then she started seeing like I kind of kept it like a secret when I was doing it because I like didn't know how to explain it to her, and it seemed kind of
Right.
like crazy.
Right.
Like I'm just making rap music
You're
and
making
making
music,
like
yeah.
music in my apartment, and it's kind of hard to explain at first, especially when there's no classes for it at the time. Now they do. Now they have Full Sail and like all this stuff.
Right.
Back then,
Right.
yeah, like they had Full Sail, but I couldn't get into Full Sail. It was
Right.
too expensive.
Right.
Yeah. And then I think in the intro to that was then, being on my own and then building my own studio in my apartment. And that allowed me to kind of open the gate to start working, collaborating with different artists, like whether it be in my city or the next city over in Miami. And I got introduced to Pump, and then we ended up having a session, and then me and him kind of just clicked like it was destiny. And we were able to develop both of our sounds and my experience and, his music and making a ton of beats every day and songs and songwriting. We ended up putting out a couple songs, and then one went really crazy, which was Boss. And I think now it's about to go double platinum.
Yeah.
And that song really is kind of what like broke me as an artist, even into the producing world, because I was more known for being a DJ at the time. I was you know, opening for Chief Keef, for doing shows for other EDM artists, and just like we were throwing parties for like 100, 200 kids, and it was all this underground stuff.
Yeah.
Even Pump, we would start doing shows, and then it'd be like from 500 to 1,000 people. And then we could afford to book Chief Keef to also play and other artists to come through. And doing that, we met more artists and other people and started building, you know, like started building an environment and I'm looking for the right word, not like not an environment, but a platform for all of us, you know, for like all of artists to be like, oh, because we're all kind of similar. And then, you know, like we all kind of grew with that, you know, from going through Pump to Wi-Fi's funeral or Smoke Perp, and like even X down in Miami. I met him through Wi-Fi's funeral, the first hip hop artist that I ever ended up working with. And
was with X?
I met X through Wi-Fi.
Through Wi-Fi,
yeah.
Yeah. And did you collaborate with him?
So I got to work with X. Nothing ever came out. You know, he's always been very choosy with his music, so he probably had it, but you know, nothing ever got released.
It's in a drive.
And I basically have worked with every artist in Florida that I know.
Wow, that's pretty fire, man. Shout out for working.
We just actually like
South Florida.
Shout out. No, 2 weeks ago we had we had Rob Banks.
Okay, shout out Rob Banks.
Shout out Rob Banks.
Too.
Yeah, he's
very
Florida
OG.
as fuck.
Very, you know, him and Denzel Curry and Raider Clan are one of, you know, the first people who even gave us a platform to be where we are today.
Right.
Excuse me. Without them, we wouldn't even really have any of this music. Right. A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah, they're Florida OGs, and there's yeah, that's crazy. Kodak too. Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Broward music now.
Shout out.
Is
Yeah.
even bigger
Broward
than ever.
County. Yeah.
You know?
Huge.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that whole
Shout
area,
out.
Kodak is one of probably my favorite, you know,
I love
like
that guy.
thinking about him, just, you know, so I got to do a song with him.
Wow.
Because of Pump, they were, you know, they wanted to work, and I'm like, yo, let's set something up. My homie at the time was managing Kodak Black, and he introduced me to him. I ended up going to Miami and went to the studio with Kodak. It was one of the most intense nights of my life, for sure. I walk into the studio, giant security guard. I'm like, great, my homie, Kodak's in there. Comes out of the studio holding the biggest bottle of Patron I've ever fucking seen in my life. When I tell you,
like in relative size to Kodak, yeah.
This is like a normal size bottle. This Patron bottle was like damn near this big. Like one of those bottles you pay like $20,000 at a club for.
Wow.
And
he came out like that.
He's listening to this song and he's like, "Hey yo, like what you think about this?" And I'm like, I was like so high, and I was like, all I heard was like Maroon 5 playing, I think, and I'm like, and he did a verse on it. I'm like, this is hard. Like I really fucked with it. I wasn't gonna lie to him. I genuinely like would never, like, I was so intimidated that if it sucked, if I sucked, I would have been like, I don't know.
Oh my God,
like,
it's great. Yeah.
No, I would have actually told. No, I would have probably. That's what's bad when I get like nervous. I tell the truth too much. So like I was afraid it was gonna be bad, and but I was like, no, it was hard, and then he was like, yeah, and then he said like maybe 3 teas, like you want some like liquor, and they poured me up a giant cup of Patron, and then I left him some beats, and he ended up working all night, and that was the first time I ever met Kodak, and he's definitely a legend, man. He makes such great music, and such an anomaly. I just love talented people like that.
Love Kodak, man.
Yeah, free that man.
He's coming out, you know.
He's coming. Yeah.
Free Kodak. He got all the charges dropped, you know. He deserves to be home. Very talented artist.
Yeah. So I was gonna actually have Diablo spin the wheel.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
spin the wheel.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. So basically, it's tapped in wheel. You spin it, you land on shit, and we go from there.
Awesome. What? Like, okay, so like questions.
Yeah, you'll see.
Oh man, grub.
Shit
What
grub.
do you get?
Okay,
Oh,
hold on.
shit grub. Oh, okay.
We got something for you.
So shit grub is like just rare exotic snacks.
Oh wow,
and you get
that's
to just
sick.
Yeah, you get to just try.
No way.
Different shit.
Wow. Oh wow.
So
no way. This is hard.
Yeah, that's yours to take.
This is real?
Yeah, it's real.
Damn. Y'all spaz. This is Cactus Jack, the Reese's Puff cereal.
So
bro.
if you've
not playing right now.
If you've already tried the cereal, you can just tell us if it's gas or trash.
I actually have tried this cereal. It's good. I like Reese's Puff, but I'm a very big collector of just items and stuff.
Oh, okay,
and
perfect.
So, like, this is definitely going in my
Congratulations.
studio, man. Yeah, no, thank you guys.
You won a prize.
Sick. No, I love collecting, and like whether it be like stuff like that or like even Pump. I have one of Pump cereal. Someone did a Pump cereal.
A Pump cereal.
It's just I love collecting things like that. It's just dope to me. I love art and I love like paintings and stuff.
Do you collect like other things like what is it, bear bricks and shit like that?
I not bear bricks, but I collect these like Hacula stuff not animals, but they're monsters. I have a lot of different type of like stuff like animals, but they're not animals like Pokemon ones. If you say like giant ones, so
Yeah.
cool. I like just cool like cartoony stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is my vibe. I don't know.
I want to give you another spin, but
Yeah.
first you have to tell us what's your favorite Pokemon.
My favorite Pokemon.
Yes, you're going on record now.
on record. Oh man.
It
This is
lives
intense.
forever.
I wish I was a Pokemon OG.
I didn't prepare you for this.
No, I did not
So
get
you can-
prepared for this.
You can,
I would have to say like I'll have
This-
two answers for this probably. So my first, so like the Pokemon that I choose when I play the Pokemon games in every like handheld device
Right.
has always been Charmander for sure.
shout out, real one.
You know,
Yeah.
Diablo, Fire. You know, it's
I
always,
respect
just
it
always,
exactly.
Always,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
meant to be.
Love it.
And then if I had to choose one out of the whole series, I think Mewtwo was definitely like one of my like
Hard.
favorite like characters,
Love
just from the
that
movie
answer.
and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
Which one was
Mewtwo's a bad
he's like the
motherfucker.
big
The alien?
floating alien one.
Yeah.
With a tail and
He
shit.
does crazy
Oh,
shit,
He's,
dude.
it's all like he's like an alien. He had mind
All I-
control and all
And
that stuff.
he's genetically
Yeah, he was
engineered.
like
He's
engineered in the tube
he's
from a real Pokemon.
He's
called
not
Mew.
even like technically a
Oh,
natural
so he was
Pokemon.
Mewtwo.
Yeah, Mewtwo. Yeah.
He was Mewtwo, bro.
I gotta
Mutated.
watch
He was
this shit.
mutated.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so wait, I don't
Wow,
want to go down
bars.
this Pokemon.
This is crazy.
I don't want to go down this Pokemon.
We just had a
dark
breakthrough,
hole. Oh,
yeah.
wait. I have a question. When I was growing up, the firest car in my neighborhood was a white dragon, a blue eyed
Oh, you
white
think about
dragon.
you.
You're
Yu-Gi-Oh,
in a
bro.
whole different
You are
anime,
cutting it
my
up.
guy.
Yes, but that was a fire card.
That
Shout
was
out
a
Yu-Gi-Oh.
fire card.
Yu-Gi-Oh goes hard. I respect that.
I was a very big Yu-Gi-Oh
Um,
fan back in the day as well.
That's the next
So was my
question.
boy Killstation. Shout out
Okay.
Killstation.
Yeah.
He still collects all the cards to this day.
Yeah. So let's get you another spin.
Okay,
Let's
another
get you on the
spin.
spin,
I'm gonna
yeah.
do this one like harder. All right.
Yeah. Go for
Alright.
it. It's built pretty well. It should be okay.
Truth or shot?
Truth or shot? Is there a truth or shot for him or no?
No. Do we?
Does he have one? He might have one.
I'll do a shot with a Hennessy.
You can do a
Yeah.
shot of anything.
Is
You
that what
got
I saw
Jack.
earlier?
Hennessy,
He
yeah.
said he'll do the shot anyway. Get
But
him
what's
cut.
the truth? It's either one or the other.
Yeah, one or the
Okay.
other. But you can
Okay.
take both.
I'll do both. Like,
Okay,
you
I
have
guys
a
asked me,
question.
I'm very.
Have you ever slid in anyone famous DMs?
And been rejected.
and been rejected?
Mm.
I have definitely slid in a lot of famous
DMs.
people's DM. Most of the time, it's to
Work
either
related?
work or build
Link,
a relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Most of the time.
It's business.
Here and there, I shoot my occasional shot.
Okay,
For sure. There are times where the DMs never got opened,
You got left.
and I was like, damn. But once that blue check came in, man, they got open.
That's a fact.
And what is tequila or what? Do you have tequila? Thank you, bro. And definitely, I got a funny story for sure. Woo. A funny story is this girl told me that like she had a boyfriend at the time and she remembers seeing my DM, and when I met her, I unsent it. I unsent it when I met her
No
in her
way.
house.
You're
And-
kidding me.
Yeah, she doesn't
Wait,
know that.
was she equally like? So she's famous.
She's super, yeah. Like
so you
she's-
can't.
she's up.
Okay. So
And
she.
so I was at her. I DM'd her because I saw her online, but then I was at her house. I'm like, oh fuck, like I gotta check if I DM'd this girl, and I
then
did because she
fix
looked
it, yeah, yeah.
familiar. I unsent it. Thank you. I unsent it, and then I thought I was good because then she followed me and like all this stuff. But then one day, like on a date, she brought it up. She's like, like I remember like that you DM'd me. I just couldn't answer because I had a boyfriend at the time.
Wow.
And I was like, damn. So that means these girls really see your
it,
messages.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't even think that's like necessarily taking your shot and missing because it sounds like you got to.
We got to the
You,
point.
you got to take her on a date. You know.
Some you win, some you miss. Some you gotta wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have this fascination
all-
of guys. A lot of my friends I noticed, especially like out here in LA, it's like everybody's so like right
Fast.
now,
Oh my
like right
God,
here,
I
right now.
know.
So they'll meet a
There's no
girl.
patience,
They'll meet
yeah.
a girl and they'll just be like all up on her and like.
Yeah.
I assume like that can't be awesome. Like I have a lot of friends that are girls and like I love
Yeah.
them all and like take
Yeah.
care of them and.
I have a sister. And
Yeah,
shit.
man, like my sisters, and it's just like it's not fun, guys, for girls to just
Yeah.
like they don't want
Pump the
everything
brakes.
today. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
You
play
can take
that
your
waiting
time.
game. It's the chase, really.
Thank
That's
you.
what they like.
I appreciate
It's
that.
probably the best part. It's probably the best part.
Since
To
it's
be
nice
for real,
there's
you know.
nice people out there.
Yeah.
And we always get what we want.
Yeah,
We can give you one more spin if you want to spin, and we'll see what you
let's
get.
do it, man.
Let's see what happens. What do you get?
I'll
Bro.
spin one more time.
no, I got grub, man. Stop playing with me.
Get us on.
Hey, that
Yeah.
y'all see this?
We
It
can
landed on grub.
give you grub, but we'll stop you spinning again
I'll
because we
keep
want you to
spinning.
get. We want you to get a something else.
Oh yeah,
What-
Captain Crunch.
His
Oh, this
homie,
is
his
hard.
homie's high over there. You know he's hungry. He
Yeah.
wants
I was
that.
looking at this shit. Hey, shout out my boy AR.
Shout out AR.
Shout out.
At a
Smoking that
fucking
gas,
R on
too.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Up and coming producer. He be going crazy. Y'all gotta check
Yeah.
him out. Shout out
Hell
my boy
yeah.
Z Money. He just left, but
Z Money,
he going
yes.
crazy.
We'll have
Z
him
Money,
back.
we're on Instagram. He
Yeah.
going crazy. Stay tuned for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit is hard though. I can't wait to
Hey,
get
I
all
was smoking
these.
some gas
Yeah, that's
too,
you.
though.
And you get one more
My
spin.
favorite cereal is
Yeah.
Apple Jacks.
Oh wow, that's rare. Apple Jacks.
Video reaction.
Hold on, we got.
All right,
some.
we got. I think it's in Chrome. So if you pull up Chrome, you'll get something. He'll put it on the screen up here for you.
Man, y'all are ready.
Yeah, yeah. All right, what do we got? Yeah, you can just full screen that shit. Let's see what happens here.
Hand me the card.
Please leave the building. No. Get out of, man, I do not want to have to call the police on you. We're asking you to leave.
Oh, she's not wearing a
In
mask.
the middle of a pandemic. Do
Oh,
not go
gotcha.
through our stuff. Yeah.
She's an iStore.
Corporate number.
Leave. Get out.
Corporate number.
She wants a corporate.
Go ahead.
Such a Karen. This is
This Karen
this is
ass
Karen.
over here,
Yo,
no
who's
mask.
she waving to? Like, they don't work for you, Karen.
Yeah.
We have the right to
I want
refuse
your
service.
corporate
Please
number.
leave. Please leave. We'll get you a court.
I get it.
Please
Damn,
leave.
and she has red hair, bro.
They are much nicer than a lot of other shops. Are.
Yeah.
What is she waving to?
Just like this.
Could you imagine like that being your mom?
I was
What?
getting embarrassed. I would stay in the
no.
car.
We have a policy to keep the staff here safe. I know that you
Oh my god, bro. It's a policy. What do you want from these people? Oh my god, bitch, get out of here. All right, well that was a good one. Fuck her.
Man,
That's crazy.
I definitely do hate me some Karens.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
fuck Karens. That's like our
Where's
the
your
new
manager?
tapped in logo.
Where's your manager? I'm gonna write you a bad Yelp.
There's
Yeah.
actually like that's actually like a lot of the old people in Florida, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
crazy
it's like
'cause
a
that's-
state
there's
of
some-
redneck
Karens.
culture.
There's
in
something
Florida.
about like that type of person that for some reason feels like they're
Entitled.
entitled to certain attention or privilege of things, and
crazy.
it's like clearly this lady like not just being upset that she can't get what she needs. She's like, man, I'm just gonna call your manager. Like, I'm like, you're in that optical place, a medical place for glasses, and you're not even trying to wear a mask to go inside. Like, no one has to serve you. Everybody can refuse the right to serve
Yeah,
somebody.
Yeah.
absolutely.
For sure, for sure.
So going back to the music shit.
That was a cool video, man. We
Yeah,
should do
yeah,
that.
that was crazy.
I would like to react to more videos.
We
later on some other time.
No, we'll have you back, and you can do a bunch of reactions with us. It'll be great. But basically,
Or if you play games, we
you
play
go.
games too.
Yeah, we'll have you play games. Basically, you drop Boss, and then does your life change the next day, or is this like it was like it dropped and then it got big over time? Like, how did it work for you?
A lot of people don't know that we actually sent the song to Famous Dex at the time to get on it as a feature.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were so excited to drop it, and we were like, whoa, like, this song's gonna be crazy. Like, we already knew it was a hit. Something about
Right.
it, when you hear a song, you're like, this is gonna be crazy. Like, this shit is crazy.
Well, the beat is fucking
Just
crazy.
the song, like, you
It's
know,
so,
like,
like,
beat's always gonna be crazy, you
but
know?
there's the
We
No,
made
but
it.
it's
The
that
one-
specific. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's the
so
energy,
hype.
everything that was. It's
It's
just
so
That's what I
hype.
try to, bring to a lot of the songs that I do with Pump is bring that energy because I know he's going to bring his, and it's just kind of like a 50-50 thing. But anyway, we sent it out to Famous Dex, and he ended up not hitting us back ever.
Wow.
And we were like, fuck it.
Too
We're
bad.
doing that shit on our own. We dropping this shit, and we dropped it, and that shit went off, bro. That shit went crazy on the SoundCloud charts, #1 on SoundCloud. Once it went on streaming services, it started going #1, and then labels started, calling everybody, and then we didn't stop. We kept the momentum going, put out more music, putting out more songs, doing more shows, and then Pump ended up signing to. Once he got to his major label, like things obviously got bigger and crazier. The features got bigger, the range of songs got bigger, more
Right.
radio play,
Right.
bigger shows, bigger festivals worldwide. And that was really dope because he was really cool. Like he didn't really have to let me like go DJ a lot of stuff, and he did. I was his DJ, like I was his engineer, I was his producer. I got to do a lot. Like I was really connected to him through his music and that experience, and it was really fun for me to see that, and that kind of gave me the experience that I had afterwards to collaborate with other artists and let's say like meet Meek Mill or meet like French Montana, like all these artists that you get to meet and not be like starstruck, but be like, yo, like I make music, let's connect, let's work. Like a lot of people kind of fumble that bag by being too starstruck and not in the moment, and seeing that opportunities are everywhere, you know, like
Right.
it's really like, it's like you got to really be able to put your foot on the gas and
That's a
drive
fact.
off on it,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that really helped me out, like just that growing up in the development with that artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you too, something that we talked about. You were saying that by you and Pump and other artists being able to work and you having a studio in your place, I was saying how critical was that to like your success? Like,
growth,
would you
yeah.
recommend that to other people and people who are coming up in the game?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I recommend to every producer, you know, starting out is, you know, get your, whether it be your computer or your hardware, you know, get a little, if you want to the only way to grow as an artist when you're a producer is to collaborate. You know, that's the best way to grow, because not only are you meeting other artists that around you, but you are now also learning new things that you probably would have never known, whether it be just in the music or hands-on experience with these people.
Yeah, it's a big fact, man.
Yeah. So you dropped Boss, and you said you ended up touring?
Yeah, so sorry. We ended up, before that I was already doing shows as Diablo, like, you know, I would just play my mixes for like of DJing, but hip hop
Right.
and EDM stuff, opening for whether it be Pump or whatever. But then as it blew up, you know, we started touring outside of our city into Orlando, and then outside to like Mississippi shows, and like Pump went on like all-American tours, and we hit every important city, and I got to see like, you know, like House of Blues and playing a lot of venues that like a lot of legendary people got to play. And that's when it really, like, I never left Florida at all after this, before this, so it really I learned a lot through experiencing the world and just seeing how music relates to each city differently, and how different artists left their impacts in those cities, you know.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the East Coast or the South or, you know, Mississippi or New Orleans, they all have their own culture and artists that kind of, you know, got really big and set the tone there.
Definitely, man. That's crazy, man. You do learn a lot of things from traveling. It's definitely an eye-opening experience. Like, and I suggest traveling for everybody. Like, you don't have to always go out the country. You can just like get out of your city, go to a different state. Even if you drive, man, just get the fuck out.
This is
man.
apple juice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. That's like what is it? How you say it? Martinelli? Yeah, it's like a Martinelli.
Good apple juice. I love apple juice.
In the glass. If you want some tequila too.
I'm great with apple juice.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's crazy.
So now, I mean, just fucking fast forwarding, like since Pump, you've collaborated with a handful of other people.
Since Pump, I can tell you real quick off the top of my head, maybe I might miss a few some, but started off with Wi-Fi's Funeral, and then Smoke Perp, and then a lot of Florida artists, you know, from Ski Mask to, you know, X, one of the greatest, RIPX,
Shout out.
Denzel Curry,
Right.
you know, other artists from outside of Florida nearby. And then we started collaborating with, like, once I got to Cali, you know, me and Punk, because he was touring, he's like, all right, now, like, we'd play a show here, and then I was like, damn, I want to stay out here. After I came to Cali,
It's a different vibe this
and
way.
the first week I was out here, I shit you not, I was in the studio with Diplo. I was in the studio with
He's a funny guy.
How the
too,
fuck
man.
a
did
ton of
that
other
feel?
artists, and it's
Like-
crazy. I was like, I was really out here, and everybody's trying to work, and it was so different from Florida, because Florida, it's like the only people at the studios that are really big are like Rick Ross and like Migos if they're in town, or whoever, like Daddy Yankee or like Pitbull, like, you know.
Yeah.
The Florida.
Over
yeah,
here,
At Circle
everybody has
House.
a studio. There's studios everywhere. Everybody's working. Even if you're not a big budget artist, like, you probably have a studio, and it was dope, and it was an eye opener for me, and I got to collaborate with a lot of people, and I decided to stay out here and just start building, you know, what I was building in Florida, but out here.
Definitely, man. Wow. You came to where the work was, man.
Yeah.
So what you working on right now? What you got like?
Yeah, what do you
what's
got?
the-
What can
who's
you
the
plug?
current
What's
artist?
coming
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I've been working for the past year. You know, I went through a lot, but I did a lot. I got to tour a lot of great places. You know, before COVID-19.
Pre-COVID, yeah.
Pre-COVID-19, I got to play at Ultra in Miami, which was always a dream. I got to play like 10 Rolling Louds throughout America, which was insane with Pump. I got to play Coachella, like a literal actual stage in Coachella,
that's
Sahara
fire, man.
tent, because it was we played as a Gucci Gang, which was Gucci Man, Pump, Smoke Perp,
Holy shit, that
me
must have been
and
crazy.
me DJing and Don Krez DJing, and we brought out ASAP Rocky and Lil Yachty, and so like literally being able to be on a stage where I could see everybody at Coachella and playing my set, which I get to open for Pump, which was a blessing. Just that experience itself was insane. And all those shows that I got to play, Lollapalooza in Chicago, really dope festivals, and just that really was super sick, man. Like all this stuff. Yeah, I forgot the question.
No, that's fine.
No, we were talking about who you were working with.
Or
what
you got coming, like what you have to plug.
So
some stuff coming
before
soon.
that, after that, like COVID-19 and everything, I was working on my album, and I really, because of like this time, I got to sit down and really like creatively explode. Like I really been loving this time because all of my distractions have gone away. I no longer want to go out to clubs and spend $300 with girls that I don't even know, but just because I'm bored. I'm bored, or like going to just LA is like, man, I would go out in LA and spend $200 just going out like immediately.
Just
that.
for fucking nothing.
If you drive, then you're gonna.
And a lot of those things you go is like, it's fun. Parties are fun, man. They're super fun, but you go to one, it's like you go to all of them, and then I really, because of COVID-19, I got to lock in and finish my vision, which I kind of maybe got deteriorated by throughout, like just wilding out and not focusing. And I got to split my album into 3 different projects, and right now I am releasing singles for my first EP, which is called Do Not Disturb. I dropped the first 2 singles. The first single was Killing with Tara Reid, a really big emerging artist right now in hip hop. Eli Ozy and Shakewell, another friend of mine from Florida.
Oh yeah. I fuck with
really
Shakewell.
big. He signed under
Big Sip the
Puya.
Juice.
Yeah, shout out Shakewell. Shout out Tara Reid. Shout out
Shakewell. Yeah,
that's my gang. Second song I just dropped like a week ago was with Xxxtentacion, an artist that I met while also touring with Ski Mask and a lot of the South Florida artists. He's a really good friend of mine, and luckily, he's super talented, and I got to work with him, and we actually got to put something together. Borgor is also a part of the track. Me and him made the beat. Shout out to Borgor, super talented producer. He
crazy
before EDM and
everything.
everything.
He's been doing it.
He's been doing it since I even knew about EDM, and even before that, the reason I brought him apart in this track is because he used to be in a heavy metal band, so he's just super talented.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
He's like he's got everything in his bag, which is great. It's nice to work with someone that's that fucking.
And then I have some up and coming tracks, I have Pump on there, and just Diplo, Ski Mask with the first song that we did with Ski Mask and Yachty, Illuminati. That's also gonna be on that re-release.
That's fire.
Shout out.
Yeah,
that's sick.
That's a fire.
Thank you, man. And then a couple other secret records that I'm just gonna wait, but like right now I'm really excited because I was able to sit down and really kind of create like how the path I want my music to go, and I was able to realize like as an artist, like I have no limits and no walls really,
That's
definitely dope. I mean, when you're ready to drop, definitely come back, and we're happy to plug it and talk about
I'm dropping every week, so don't say that because I'll be here every other week.
You can come as much as you want. We don't care.
I always want to ask, like, do you have anything strange or like any weird hobbies about you that people don't know that you want to that you wouldn't mind mentioning?
AR, I got any weird hobbies I do?
What's his weird hobby?
Or like not even weird, or like something like
he's giggling, so there must be something.
Like
I'm pretty like
do you are you like an expert at tennis on the low? Like do you like
you got a mean backswing?
Darts? Like
I'm oddly good at doing like soccer tricks. I did Brazilian jiu-jitsu while growing up. Like
wow.
Cool. I like photography a lot. I'm very like organized and like just with everything. Yeah, like my
like
I
a little
keep-
OCD
That's a
type
fire
studio, everything, the house clean as fuck. It just came from like I think the stem of it was working with artists like Pump and other these people, and then just seeing that like everything was covered in garbage and everything. But then once I started cleaning, kind of like organizing stuff and shit didn't get lost, it was like our productive was just way more up. Like more stuff would get done. People were less distracted looking for equipment, and it's just a better overall workflow.
I feel
so stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty a little bit OCD maybe.
No, I feel that. No,
Other
I like
stuff,
that, yeah.
I don't know. I eat very weird foods. Like I like sushi. I hate sushi, but I love teriyaki chicken and like yellowtail sashimi from like Nobu. Like
Respect.
really weird like
That's real
stuff.
sushi.
Yeah.
Though. That's real sushi.
Yeah.
Like, I fuck with sushi.
I don't like rolls or anything yet, so
Yeah.
my eating palate is like a bougie like 10-year-old. Like I don't know.
That's kind of hard though. I
That's
like
fire.
that. Yeah.
On the same status.
So
like chicken fingers and fries, like, but also like really nice dinners. Like, I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
also like
Like I'll go
yellowtail.
somewhere fancy. Like my friends will take me to a French place, and I'll be like, "Y'all got chicken and rice?" I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Chicken.
Like no.
Yeah. That's
That's
funny.
sick.
Same here.
So if we want people to fucking like stay tapped in with you, the best place is probably IG for you.
The best place to stay tapping with me with like for like my socials and to like my day-to-day like shenanigans is definitely IG at Diablo. I release a lot of my music on all platforms for my official singles, but my SoundCloud, which is also just Diablo, I released some secret, Easter eggs there for my fans and collaborations. Make sure to follow Foolish Cult on all platforms. That's my independent label. I'll drop my music and a ton of other artists' music on there, and it's just a platform that I developed.
Foolish Cult.
Yes, we also do vlogs on YouTube. Check
That's
us out.
sick.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the name.
subscribe,
That's
hit
the
the
name of
mans up.
YouTube is Foolish Cult.
Yeah, FOOLISHCULT.
There you go. This guy plucked.
Solid. I fuck with that.
Bro,
Diablo,
yeah,
thank
you-
you for fucking joining us, bro.
Hey, no, thank you guys for having me,
Yeah.
man. It's been great.
Make sure to fucking stay tapped in with us. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and fucking follow Diablo, man. Check his shit out. Thank you.
Awesome.
Back on that X. Back on that X. Back on that X.